This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Fight me, nerd.
Thank you, Lilith Hellfire. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Before the Bat. Well, it used to be the Gotham Podcast, now it's the Pennyworth Podcast. I am Phil, and joining me tonight is no one. Yes, Tyler had a family emergency. It's a medical thing, but everyone's all right. But I don't want to say too much since it's not my place. But Tyler, I'm thinking about you and your whole family. Everything's gonna be fine. But so tonight, like I said, I am by myself, and maybe to make my rambling somewhat coherent, I'm going to do a live viewing of Pennyworth episode 7. That's right, we're back. We took a week off for Labor Day, but it came back this past Sunday night for episode 7. Julie Christie, again, getting these, I guess, names of famous English women. You know what? Since I'm here by myself, let me look this up and let's get the lowdown for everyone who's not familiar with Julie Christie. Handy Wikipedia. Julie Frances Christie, born April 14th, 1940, is a British actress. An icon of the swinging London era of the 1960s, she has received such accolades as an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, a BAFTA Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. She has appeared in 6 films that were ranked in the British Film Institute's 100 Greatest British Films of the 20th Century, and in 1997, she received a BAFTA Fellowship. So, again, I don't know if they're just using names or if I'm missing how Julie Christie is supposed to tie into this episode, but I don't know. Enough about me. We'll dive into this episode, but then stay tuned after the episode. After I give you our social media and everything, I have a little surprise for you, so stay tuned. All right, so Pennyworth, episode 7. Julie Christie starts with Play. The music is Play with Fire by the Rolling Stones. Get the credits. Epix presents a Warner Horizon production. And we see, assuming it's people going to work or something in the morning. It's a bunch of guys carrying briefcases, and we see Martha Kane coming back from that wild party. I don't know if she's wrapped in a bed sheet or something. Because remember, she woke up naked in a field at the end of the last episode 2 weeks ago. Looks like she's walking in to her place very slowly. The music's still playing. Oh, Thomas Wayne's in her apartment. He's like, "Where have you been? Where are your clothes?" She still looks like she's a little bit in shock. Thomas is all, of course, what happened? What are you doing? She's like, "I thought you were dead." He's been worried sick. Why? Martha's saying things got a little wild. We went out partying. He's like, "Wow, you came home naked." He wants to know where his sister Patricia's at. And Martha's like, "I don't know. I'm sure she's fine, just sleeping it off someplace." And Thomas is like, "How irresponsible." She's like you've never been drunk. He says, "You've been gone for 3 days." She's like, "Today's Saturday." He's like, "No, Monday." So if you remember last episode, Martha was a little, I don't know, her drink got spiked, and she saw what appeared to be, I don't know if it's supposed to be the devil or just some demon. And then again, at the end of the episode, she woke up in the middle of a field naked. And after Thomas tells her it's been 3 days. We get the opening credits. I like this episode. It's a big mystery. It's like, is this really a demon, or is she just, is it trickery due to the drugs? But I mean, for a show called Pennyworth, Alfred almost seemed like a supporting character almost in this episode. I mean, we see some of his story in a little bit, but again, it seemed like a B story. It seemed like the Thomas and Martha stuff like take precedence in this episode. Which I guess it's the bigger story because, it's like, are they dealing with the devil? Are they dealing with Satan? Did someone say Satan? All right, credits are over. We see birds calling and flying. And we're in a room. There's chairs and stuff knocked over. Oh, go outside. There's a lamp knocked over in the hallway. Where is this? Oh, it's Alfred and his mates. Alfred and his mates. Tearing through this house looking for something. They said, nope, can't find anything. They're looking for his old captain, who he believes killed his fiance, Esme. So, guessing this is his house, maybe? Oh. Uh-oh, they found a uniform. It has a bunch of medals on it. Oh. Besides the medals, it's his fiance's engagement ring tied to the uniform with all the medals. So he killed his woman and took her engagement ring and wears it like a badge of honor, I guess. And Elf could tell by Alfred's face he's not happy, although who would be? He's saying the witch is right, the fortune teller who told him. And again, he's saying it's my fault Esme's dead. See, this is interesting. It's like when this show started, I think me and Tyler already brought this up, that it seemed very grounded in reality, and now we're getting like fortune telling witches and our Thomas and Martha actually dealing with a cult leader who like works for the actual Satan. Yeah, for a Batman show, this seems to be taking a supernatural bent. Oh, and I believe this is the captain's maid shows up. She has 3 guns pointed in her face. She only comes to clean on Mondays and Thursdays. She only cleans his quarters and not touch the rest of the house, she says. So I guess they want all kinds of personal information on the captain, and meanwhile she's just like, I come and clean Mondays and Thursdays. So I wonder, is this woman supposed to be like a spy or just, I don't know, because she doesn't, I mean, she seemed a little shocked with the guns in her face, but she doesn't seem intimidated by these 3 men like interrogating her. She must be related to what is it, Olga, who was the Penguin's maid on Gotham. Oh, we're back to our friend Bet, who narrowly escaped death a few episodes back. Harwood's ready to leave and take his place back in high society. So he's telling Bet, wish us luck. Oh, or Harwood and her sister not letting her go. So I know a couple episodes back, Tyler and I were trying to, and even before the first couple episodes, when Tyler, Charlie, and I were reviewing this, we were trying to decide the time period this takes place in. The description on the Epic's website says in the 1960s. So But again, just like with all these Batman live action stuff, they seem to like blur time periods and stuff. But that's what I would have guessed is the 60s, even though some of the decor looks 70s, and that's where most of the TVs we've seen have been black and white. They had some color TVs in the 60s, didn't they? Oh, we're here to see Dr. Gaunt, who has an older woman with a gun standing guard outside. Dr. Gaunt will want to see Harwood. A lot of skullduggery taking place in high society in this time period. There she is, Dr. Gaunt, who we saw at the big shootout. What was it, 2 episodes back? When Alfred came in and blew the guy's head off with a shotgun. And so she's talking to Bet's sister. She says, "Oh, look who I have. It's Harwood, who the No Name Society had tortured in the beginning of this season." Oh, yep. Dr. Gaunt, like she said, Dr. Gaunt is happy to see him. She's like, "I thought you were dead." So, were they friends, or she just thinks she can use him for the, I guess, the power he wielded, and I guess may wield again. Oh, back to Thomas and Martha going to the house where the party took place. Thomas asked Martha for a favor last episode to watch his sister because she's a big drinker and partier. But now he's like, "I can't believe I trusted you." Isn't it always the way? Man and a woman meet, they bicker, and then realize they're in love and get married. And now she's telling him how she woke up naked and no idea how she got there. Nope. She thinks she rang the doorbell. It's Crowley's the manservant answers the door. I don't know. The manservant reminds me of somebody, the little Weasley guy, but I can't remember. I don't know who. Maybe it's someone from Gotham, or he looks all. Does he look a little like the Ripper from, what was that, second or third episode? Maybe. But Martha wants to see Crowley immediately. And the little Weasley manservant offers him a drink. Martha wants to see Crowley. Oh, she even asked him, "Who are you?" He's like, "I thought you'd remember. Such fun we had." Uh-oh. She says, "If I don't see Crowley and Patricia Wayne down here right away, I will call the police." And he's like, "No, don't do that." And in walks Crowley. "How lovely to see you." He seems all happy to see, as he calls him, the very famous Thomas Wayne. Or the famous Thomas Wayne. "Where's my sister?" So last I was telling Tyler an episode or two back, I wonder if they're going to give us good reason why, when the Waynes are killed, Patricia doesn't get custody of Bruce. Maybe she doesn't live past this series. The way she's partying, probably not. Especially if she's getting mixed up with Crowley. Because, again, he either works for the devil or he's a cult leader who wants people to think he's working for Satan. Satan? And Thomas and Martha are all angry. Meanwhile, Crowley's just sitting there, drinking either coffee or tea and having breakfast. Crowley saying he wasn't even paying attention really during the party. And he's saying, if you want to call the police, go ahead. The inspector is a dear friend of mine. And Thomas is trying to calm Martha down and saying, let's not make a big deal out of this. Which, seeing as how he doesn't know where his sister is, I'm pretty sure Thomas is, well, he mentions it a couple times this episode, but he's more worried about his family name. I think he puts more, he finds more worth in the family name than his actual his sister herself. Now Martha's telling Thomas about the man with the goat head in the blood. And Crowley's like, well, he did have a wild time. Oh, and here comes Patricia. She seems all happy, and she comes in and hugs Thomas. And he wants to know if she's so cute. And he's like, oh, you're cute. You want to know if I was ravished by the devil. So maybe Patricia remembers what happened, and she still doesn't care. Talk about your wild party girl. She's like, yeah, I slept with Satan. Satan? And I guess Patricia said Crowley's respectable, and Thomas is like, he's not respectable. And Crowley's like, what kind of host would I be if I let her be taken against her will? So Thomas wants to speak to Patricia in private. Crowley's like, yeah, go talk to him. He's family. Again, I just wonder what kind of life expectancy we'd expect from Patricia. Because again, we never hear about her in the Batman mythos, from the time the Waynes were killed and stuff, and just the way she's partying. Oh, then we're back to Dr. Gaunt and Harwood. Which, except for that line, that fake nose looks pretty good. Oh, never mind. Except for where it looks like it's falling off a little bit, but that fake nose looks pretty good. Which, do they have good fake noses in the 60s? Again, it's a fictional DC universe, so I guess they can have anything. And of course, so I guess this story takes place in England, so like every story we get like people like drinking coffee or tea and eating. Seems in most of these stories this episode. Again, it's like we're like almost 17 minutes in, and we got that one quick scene with Alfred and his friends looking for clues in the captain's house, and then running across the maid. But besides that, for the guy whose name's on this series, we really haven't seen much. We really don't see too much of this episode. So basically, there's 3 storylines, and Alfred's isn't like the most involved storyline this episode. So I can't remember. I don't know if they showed it or not, but Harwood's walking with a cane now. Did he always need that cane, or is that from the beating he took from is it the No Name Society? Or oh no, wait, isn't Gaunt the No Name Society? Oh no, she's runs the Ravens, isn't it? And Gaunt's telling him the government's going to arrest him if he reveals himself. And they won't make the mistake of letting him live this time. Yeah, they're going to let the Grand Council of the Raven Society know they are alive. So I just wonder too, I think, again, Tyler and I have brought this up before, but are they using the Raven Society as a fill-in for the Court of Owls? Because yes, the court is hundreds of years old, but I think they were more, they were pretty much anchored to Gotham for most of their history. So since this is England. Because in the comics, we get a Parliament of Owls that was more global, but that wasn't until pretty much present day. As far as I know, not just like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But we're back with Thomas and Patricia. They're like out talking in a garden or something. And Thomas calls Crowley a bad hat. Boy, for a show where we've heard some foul language and even seen the occasional moment or two of nudity. It's just he calls him a bad hat, but I guess that's just fancy rich people. And Thomas is telling Patricia, you have a family that loves you, but you also have responsibilities. And Patricia's explaining to him, you asked me before why I was so unhappy, but I felt dead inside, and now I know I can see. For the first time in my life, I'm alive, and Alistair showed me on the way. Again, was it Alistair or was it Satan? Satan! And Thomas says he's just a jumped up pimp, a devil worshiper. A devil worshipping pimp. Yeah, that sounds like someone Batman would beat up if he was around. And Patricia says, you're not worried about me. You're just worried about the family name. And he's like, so what? And she's like, you're just worried about the share price. He's like, of course I'm worried about the share price. Which, I mean, you could say that's kind of selfish of Thomas, but if Wayne Enterprises or Wayne Industries is around now, yeah, you got to worry about the stock price. If you have people working for you, if you have hundreds or thousands of employees, well, yeah. There could be layoffs. You could be ruining a lot of people's lives just by being, an irresponsible party girl, Patricia. Patricia's saying, why do you care why I'm happy? Just so long as I am. And Thomas doesn't believe it's anything, besides trickery and drugs. And get another song. Hands to hold someone. Oh, see, okay, we are back with Alfred finally, who's taking the engagement ring off the general's uniform and he's cleaning it with a toothbrush at the kitchen sink. And his mom's like, are you hungry? I think she's worried about him. Liver and onions. How are you going to tempt somebody with liver and onions? She's like, I'll just make some eggs then. See, there you go. Eggs are good. Liver and onions. Unless you make an omelet, I could, maybe if you do some liver and onions, maybe in an omelet. I'd say hold the liver though. Oh, there's the dad. The music's still playing. See, I thought his father was going to be all hard on him, like through most of this, but after the first, I'd say, I don't know, the first 2 or 3 episodes, his father seemed to lighten up on him. Well, especially since, I think Esme started that whole thing, lightening the father up, and then when he died, I think the father just felt bad for him. Oh, his dad's putting down a towel on the kitchen table. I think he's gonna show him how to clean the ring. Good, because I guess the dad's a butler. He knows how to. I'm sure he knows how to clean like rich people's jewelry and maybe probably clean rich people's everything. What is that? Sugar? He's gonna make a paste with some sugar. He's saying you make a paste. He said he once polished a Hempworth diamond for Lady Fortabass. I think I can manage that little thing. So see, yep, he has cleaned rich people's jewelry. So he's got that sugar powder in his hand, and guess he's working. Looks like he's working the ring into the sugar. It's hard to see, but then you dip it in the water. And ooh, look, it sparkles. lint free. Oh, the rag, I guess, that he's using to dry it off. It says great color. She would have made a wonderful daughter-in-law. Aww. See, that's what I'm saying. I think, the father didn't, I don't know if the father had no respect for Alfred until Esme came on the scene. Alfred's mother calls his father His Majesty, although it's all. And Martha's still sitting there talking to Alistair Crowley and his little manservant, offering her food. What do they got? Looks like they got a bunch of like fruits, maybe fruits and vegetables on the table. Oh, some sandwiches maybe. I'm sure the pot probably has coffee, orange juice. Oh, Crowley's telling Martha, whatever happened only because you wanted to. The only compulsion in our religion is desire. And Martha says, I don't care what you say. You're nothing but a little con man. He says he's been vilified by popes and kings. And I'm still here. And the manservant's lighting his cigarette. Oh, Martha says, well, Thomas Wayne is no pope. The Wayne family are billionaires. Do you think they got that way by sermonizing? They've crushed nations. Oh, has Charlie Esser been right this whole time? The Waynes have crushed nations? She's like, you're a flea. He's like, oh, the deadliest of creatures. Mm-hmm. So I guess Crowley's like, yeah, you call me a bloodsucker. I work for Satan. Satan? No more. Crowley or Thomas is like, Mr. Crowley, I warn you, if you've harmed my sister, you will pay dearly. They said, let's go. Martha's like, you're leaving her here? He's like, she's an adult. So I don't know if Thomas has just given up and thinks it's a hopeless cause, or, well, maybe Thomas is like, well, at least maybe she'll make less of a spectacle if she stays here than like running loose on the streets. Who knows? Thomas is like, Patricia, if you change your mind, call me. She seems all calm. She's like, thank you, Tommy. She blows a kiss to Martha. And Thomas and Martha walk out. Although Martha seems a lot more upset than Thomas is. Martha says, you can't just leave her there. And Thomas says, I did. That's where she wants to be. Crowley will tire of her and she'll call me and she'll come back and ask me for more money. That's how it always works. Oh, Martha called him a bad name. Oh, Thomas said he thought she was, like a regular woman, but he said she has issues. And he gets in a cab and drives away. And Martha says a bad word. And back to Alfred. I'm walking down the street. The Rutland. What is it? I think it's in an officer club, I guess. Oh, getting mouthy with the guy out front. Oh, yeah, the Rutland Fushler's Regiment Club or something. Oh, no. And Alfred seems to leave, but oh, I think he just came out of the kitchen. He must have came in the back door. Ugh. It's a bunch of old guys in uniform. Private Alfred Pennyworth, Special Air Service. Now, excuse me for disrupting you. Oh, he's telling all the old guys, I'm looking for one of your officers. Captain John Fitz Smith Curzon, 3rd Battalion, retired. Oh, Captain Curzon, someone must know who he is. He says, I'm all for loyalty and all that, But this bloke has dishonored your regiment. You owe him nothing. Oh, get a lot of F-bombs as one of the guys is trying to throw him out. We see an older officer saying, gonna let him go. Says, thank you, sir. I'll try to be brief. Now, your man Curzon killed my fiance. Oh, right to the point. Her name was Esme Winnicus. 23. Never heard of fly. So he lays it right on the line. Tells all these guys that the captain killed her. He's like, and the only reason he killed her is to get back at me for making a joke at his expense. His men laughed at him and they never forgave me. So he beat and strangled her to death. This man's put a black mark against the good name of your regiment. So, So is that the theme of this episode? I guess that, what's more important, personal honor or people or, a family name or like the reputation of a regiment. He's like, okay, Alfred's like, okay, no one's going to help me. Well, I won't be responsible when I find him. So can I say chinless wankers? Because that's what Alfred said. Oh, and again, Sergeant from inside was going to punch out Alfred or try to punch out Alfred in the alleyway, but who's yelling from up above on the roof? Oh, that old officer's coming down again. He says these guys have more, no sense or Alfred asks him if he knows where Curzon is. And the captain's like, on the surface, your story sounds absurd. He's like, it does, but you sound like an honest man. And Alfred says, all my life, it's the truth. And the old officer is saying, you're asking everyone to betray one of their comrades. And Alfred says, yeah, a lunatic, a murderer. So I don't know if the old officer here is thinking it. He's like, I'll make inquiries. Rutlands look after their own. Where can I reach you? Severed Arms Public House. That's kind of a macabre name, isn't it? Severed Arms? Or is that like an English thing I'm not getting? But yeah, that sounds like I don't know. Why would you name a place like that? Oh, Martha was sleeping and she just woke up. She got an image of the figure with the giant goat's head or whatever. And so she goes to Thomas's. Boy, this is some story. You're like, how did you meet? Oh, well, we met in England, and the first couple of weeks we met, Martha was drugged, and this cult leader who claimed to work for Satan, got a hold of her. And Martha's telling Thomas she had a dream, and now she's remembering more and more. She's talking about the devil. Yep. She's saying she started to remember. And looks like she's about to cry. She doesn't want to say it. And it's horrible. She said it's unspeakable. I can't begin to describe the foulness. So Thomas is like, were you sexually assaulted? She says, no, it's not that. It's worse. Worse? She's like, I don't know how worse. I just don't. I just felt something evil happened. Uh-oh. See, that's the other thing Tyler and I have talked about. It's just like, so did the devil get a hold of Martha's soul? Or is there a curse on her? You know, like to meet her end in a dark alley years from now? Is this going to be part of, at least for this series, you know, is that going to be the thing? Or the Wayne's going to be cursed between getting killed in the alleyway and then their son becoming this dark figure seeking vengeance? And they're talking about contacting the police, but they're saying the police aren't going to believe Martha any more than Thomas. And Martha says she's going back. Thomas doesn't want to go. She says, well, then can you at least contact the authorities if you don't hear from me in a day or two? Can you do at least that much? Nope. Thomas grabs his hat and coat and follows her. And they're back at the Crowley house. Again, this is like a long, big... Oh, a couple just walked by the street with a pig in a baby carriage. Is that like an English thing or just like a funny Easter egg? And Thomas is saying, tell Crowley, let's not waste time on more formalities. How much? He's like, what? He's like, you know what I mean. And again, it looks like they have like food set out this time on like a big dining room table. Is that all Crowley does is eat? I mean, he doesn't look that heavy, but he's like. Now Thomas is saying, I've spent years freeing my sister from the clutches of pimps and perverts. He's like, and you also, always comes down to money. Crowley's like, no, I'm fond of your sister. I'd hate to lose her, even if she wanted to leave, which she doesn't. Martha knows what I want, don't you, darling? Martha says, yeah, good beating. Thomas is like, what do you want? He says, I want your soul, of course. That is, my master wants it. Again, Satan. Fine, consider it yours. Give me my sister. He's like, you're a businessman, Mr. Wayne. You know that saying something does nothing. We'll need a contract inked in blood. And Thomas is based like, really? This? And Crowley's like, you're a well-educated modern man, intelligent. Of course you don't believe. And he says, but there's a beast inside you. And Thomas is like, no, there's not. Crowley moves his hand and the door slams shut. And Thomas says, that's cute. Wayne Enterprises has doors like that too. And Crowley says, Wayne Enterprises, how marvelous it must be to be a billionaire. Such freedom. And Thomas says, I see. When you say you want my soul, you mean you want my company. He's like, dream on, Buster. Crowley's saying, my master doesn't care about you, your company, or your name. He just wants you, your spiritual essence. Thomas, oh, you're a good con man. I see how you brainwashed my sister. You need to eat more than parlor tricks. Patricia walks in and Crowley says, your brother thinks I brainwashed you. Oh, Patricia's saying he's a lovely man. He's a teacher. And Martha's just flipping out. And Thomas says, I'm trying to make a deal and you're just making it harder. And Crowley's like, how did asking Thomas and Martha, how did you two meet? Was it at the league meeting? And Thomas like, what league? And Crowley's like, oh, no, come on. The No Name League. And Thomas like, what league? And Crowley said, next you'll tell me you're not working for the CIA. And even Martha's like, you're the CIA? He's like, no, I'm not. And she's like, I should have guessed. And even Patricia's like, the CIA? Laughing. He's like, I'm not. Where'd you get such a notion? And Crowley says, my boss. Where else do you think? Thomas says, it's dangerous to spread that kind of lie. Nope. There's the manservant being all creepy. Patricia. Patricia says, oh, I'm actually impressed. She's like, have you killed people? And Martha's all like upset now because she thinks Thomas lied to her, which she has, I guess. And Thomas is like, so for my sister's freedom, you want me to sell my soul? And Thomas is like, oh, come on, I'll give you 50,000. And Crowley's like, no. Oh, Thomas is offering 200,000 pounds. And Crowley says, no, my master wants your soul. Oh, and he's telling him, think of the power you'll get. And Thomas says, I can buy and sell creeps like you. And Crowley's like, see, there is a beast inside you. Thomas says, I'll play along. Okay, you're Lucifer's servant. But I don't deal with underlings. I need to speak with your boss. And Crowley says, no, he usually just talks to saints and people like that because he usually doesn't talk to anyone, but there's no harm in asking. So they go down to the creepy basement dungeon. Bunch of candles lit. I think that's some kind of skull sitting on an altar. Oh, must be some kind of satanic church because there's a bunch of chairs set up. And Thomas still wasn't believing. When Crowley says, what happens? What about if you actually do meet him? And Thomas is like, yeah, let's just get on with this. And creepy manservant setting up a movie screen, like a small screen for a projector. And here comes the projector, I believe. Trying to remember from my first watches. I think it's a reel-to-reel, of course, because it's the 60s. Yep. Thomas is like, okay, whatever. So Thomas is putting his hat and coat down. He says, all right. It's like, okay, what do you want to show me? And creepy manservant starting the reel-to-reel. And see a bunch of naked people. He goes, blue movies? But no one's saying anything, so he turns back around. And people are getting fondled. I don't know if this is supposed to be... Is this an orgy? Oh, naked woman. Holding something up. I'm assuming some kind of offering or something. Again, it's hard to see, and now we can't see the screen, but just a bunch of naked people. Now all we see right now is the look on Thomas's face. Oh, I think I saw the guy with the goat's head or whatever, but I think that's all he was wearing. Got the devil inside of her, so to speak. It's hard to... Oh, hear moaning and panting. Your family must have been a right old mess to turn a woman that way. Oh, is he talking to Thomas about his sister? Did you ever have a go? If you haven't, you should turn. You should. Oh, I think Thomas was getting into the movie, but then I think they showed at least one of the women was his sister. Oh, Thomas is beating the creepy manservant. Oh, now he's choking him with something. I don't know if it was a chain or a rope, but the manservant's still laughing while he's getting choked, and Thomas is just like choking him. got like blood coming out of his mouth. I don't know if it's from the choking or the beating. Probably both. Thomas is on the ground. He's choking him. Oh, I think he's taking the film and shoving it in the manservant's mouth and wrapping it around his head. He's choking him some more with his bare hands. Between the film and his hands, he's just choking the manservant. Oh, he stops, but the guy's still alive. Thomas is all shaken. What you say about my sister? Crowley says, and you say there's no beast in you. Like, he almost killed a guy. And the manservant to the closed captioning says is Jason, is just moaning on the floor. Crowley says, tell me you didn't meet the devil. And we see Martha and Patricia upstairs. Oh, Thomas comes up, grabs Patricia, and Crowley's telling her, your brother and I reached an understanding. You must do what he wants. I command it. And Thomas is saying, Patricia, and he grabs her by the hand and he's yanking her out the door. Martha is running out after them. Crowley, goodbye, all. And back to Alfred and his buddies. They're walking down the street. And I guess, I don't know if the old officer came through with information, but his buddies are saying, how do you know this isn't a trap? You know, there could be a whole battalion of guys waiting for us. They're back at their usual bar they hang out at. And his buddies are still like, you know, you're going in blind. And Alfred's like, I have no choice. This is my only lead. Oh. And our the old bartender who we've seen since episode 2 or 3 comes over. Pouring drinks. And Alfred said, oh, your daughter's not about? And he's like, oh, she's upset about you. And he's like, what's that about then? And Alfred, I couldn't tell you. Because I guess he can't tell her dad that they slept together that one time. And I don't think Alfred's really talked to her much since then. And they're like, okay, right. I don't know if the bartender bought it, but nope. That sergeant or whatever Alfred was like fighting with at the club comes in, hands him a piece of paper, which I'm assuming is Curzon's your man will be there tonight, room 7. General Malcolm came through with the info. Dave Boy's like, see, Mr. Doom and Gloom? No bother. We're a trap. So his friends are saying, we better go early and heavy. Alfred said, no, I don't think so. This is a one-man job. So, yep, he wants to go into guns a-blazing by himself. You're in a dark frame of mind, Alfred. Yeah, he's been since his fiancée was killed. And Alfred's saying, hey, if it is a battalion, like 1 or 2 more guys are going to make a difference. And get a shot of the countryside. And Harwood painting Beth's sister's toenails. I don't know what's going on with those two. I don't know if the sister's just broken Harwood. Now he's just like, oh, maybe it's not a thing for feet. Is that a different nose? That nose looks... It's like a lot lighter. Like, I swear earlier in the episode, the fake nose looked like it was almost the same color as his skin. Now it's like not white, but it's like a lot lighter than his skin. It's like very much more noticeable. Oh, there's Bet. And that one's her toenails done, but he said, I can do you one better. He says, according to the Ravens, there's news about Alfred Pennyworth. And Bet's like, oh, it seems he found out who killed his fiance. Boy, news travels quick. Esme, because I guess Bet thought they were friends. Although I don't know why. It's only because she kidnapped her once. It's like really the only time they really pretty much met. Oh, back to Thomas. Staring out the window at night, huh? Martha wants to know what happened. Oh, still got blood on his shirt from when he was strangling them, beating the manservant. He's like, nothing happened. She's like, you saw him, didn't you? And Thomas says, we were never there. Not any of us. You understand? And Martha's shaking her head, yeah. So even Thomas is rattled. Mr. CIA is rattled. And she said, you saw him? No. So is it just the way he saw his sister, or was it something else? And we see a couple walking down the street. We see a car pull up. It's Alfred. Okay. Royal Almshouse. That's where he's going, I guess. See, on the first viewing, it didn't seem like we saw much Alfred, but we're seeing a good bit of Alfred. I still think that Thomas and Martha's story is the big one this week, but we're getting some Alfred. I'm just worried Thomas said, I mean, either way is fine with me, but I don't know. I'm almost afraid Thomas and Martha are going to like start taking center stage more and more. Just like with Gotham, it was supposed to be Jim Gordon's story, but then they started adding in all the villains and young Bruce Wayne. All right, Alfred's in. He's sneaking around the hall, dark hallway. I guess he's going up to room 7. Oh, he runs into Bet. He's like, hey, you're supposed to be dead. She's like, well, I'm not, am I? Let's get on with it. And I think the guy he's looking for has heard them. Yep, they both get to room 7. And he's like, let me handle this. Where did she say that? All right. He's opened the door. He's in room 7. Nope. He's not in bed where he was before. Bet's like, come on. Avenge her friend who she met once by kidnapping her. Oh, they see him at the end of the hall. Alfred's chasing after him. They're out a side door. There might have been like a fire, like an emergency door, because it looks like they're on the roof or something, running down a staircase. Big chase scene. Na 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 na. All right, they're down to the street. They're running. Looks like a alleyway. The guy's shooting at Alfred. Oh, Alfred pulls a gun, shoots back. More running. Guys running down the street. See Alfred jogging after him pretty quick. So the guy still has the gun in his hand, but he's not shooting anymore unless he's out of ammo or something. They're running. And see Alfred picturing Esme in his head when they first met, when he proposed. Yeah, rage and adrenaline. That'll give me some speed. Oh, I think the guy just came to a dead end. Maybe more ways than one. Oh, but a bus goes by and the guy's gone. That old gag. So what, did the guy grab the side of the bus or something? But Bet's caught up with him. All right, now we see Dr. Gaunt giving a speech, saying our enemies call us zealots, and they are correct. Zealots we are, and proud of it. She's talking to a group of men, and when did rigor and discipline and duty become terms of abuse? And who were the great men and women of history who changed the world? Moderates? No. Zealots like you and I. People of faith. She's going like this, but she might as well just be given the Sieg Heil. Those citizens that are not loyal patriots shall be silenced. Those foreigners who are not our friends, shall be expelled. Oh, Alfred's father's in the crowd. We shall put down sexual deviance. So basically, foreigners bad. Anyone who's not a straight person bad. People who disagree with us bad. Glad we never see any of this anymore. Fake news. She says, we'll lurk in the shadows no longer. A revelation is coming that will shock the world. And she's screaming, "Are you with me?" And all the guys and everyone in there cheering. Even Alfred's father standing up and giving her a standing ovation. And the episode ends kind of abruptly on Alfred's father giving her a standing O. All right, so that is Pennyworth, Season 1, Episode 7, Julie Christie. All right, so I have rambled for almost an hour. All right, so I'm going to let everyone get out of here. Hopefully Tyler should be back with me next week. So send us your thoughts. What did you think of this episode? That would be a great opportunity. Sending me your thoughts on Episode 7, and then we can get a quick overview of what Tyler thought, and we can all discuss it as we jump into Episode 8. So email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. You can find Before the Bat on Facebook, on Twitter at Before the Bat Pod. You can follow Capes and Lunatics on Instagram. You can call our voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. So see, you don't even have to write an email. Just pick up your cell phone and dial 614-382-2737. And you can leave us a audio message. Subscribe to our the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. We have a weekly newsletter, capesandlunatics.home.blog. And you can always watch us live on the Capes and Lunatics Facebook, Twitter, or at getvocal.com/channels/capes. All right, so I promised you a surprise treat since you had to listen to me ramble for almost an hour. Recently, just a few days ago, I was on a special on the Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. For those of you who may not be familiar, although Ray, who runs that podcast, has been on here more and more, so you should be familiar. If not, you may not be familiar with Mr. Noel Tate and his band The Leader. They do all the the theme song and all the music for over there on Into the Night. They have a new album. It's going to be dropping digitally this Friday, September 13th. So if you like what you hear, what I'm about to play, go check them out on Bandcamp, and you can buy their album there. It's called The Other Void. It's inspired by a Moon Knight run by the writer Warren Ellis. So, yeah. So, again, you've had to listen to me ramble for an hour. So, again, go check out the band The Leader at Bandcamp, and pick up the new album, The Other Void, this Friday, September 13th. All right. Here's the single that they have up. So, again, I think it's all right to play. I played it on Into the Night. But, yeah, this is right from The Other Void. So you're getting a sneak peek. This is the single called Box. All right, everyone. Again, Tyler should be back next week. But until then, same bat time, same bat channel. The Pennyworth Podcast. Good night, everyone. Thanks for keeping me company. Good night.
They are ghosts. You can't touch the angry dead. A haunted melody. A city that isn't living. A world beyond. They map the afterlife. They shroud the dead. Touch the untouchable. So here's the thing. An attack of consciousness. I hate ghosts. Chains and knock upon your limbs. A world beyond. They map the afterlife. They shroud the dead. Punch the untouchable. They are ghosts. Showering in a shitty music box. You will wait forever.